What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Fayon the Wanderer. So today we're going to be talking about wave music. So it was 2016, I think. That's what I remember, 2016. And I was on SoundCloud and I stumbled upon a song. It is called Atu Doubts Remake with dashes connecting the words. And it's by a producer named NyQuil. And yeah, when I heard this, it was crazy. I was like, I was like, ooh, heat! I've stumbled upon heat. Ah, I think I might have heard it in the mix actually before. So pretty much what it was a remix of a song by Atu called Doubts. Atu is an artist with Selection, and his style of music is like the ethereal R&B style. And so Nyquil had remixed this. There was like heavy trap drums, insane vocal samples with a lot of reverb, like these you know eerie melodies, like these kind of things, and it was sick. And later on, I think through that I started kind of digging. I don't my memory is kind of with the matter, but kind of started digging, and yeah, it was insane. Like what I found a mix. It was called wavemob mix 007 slash or dash nevermore, like, and spelled with like stylization. Gotta stylize your stuff. So nevermore, and this stuff was insane. Like it's kind of like the way the music sounded or sounds is like you're being transported to like a different nah, let me stop, but it's very dreamy and like ethereal like that. So yeah, that was my introduction into something called wave music. So like I said, it was called the wave mob. And what the wave mob was, it it's a group on SoundCloud, like I mean on the internet, a bunch of producers. I think it was started by a guy named Climax, like I'll put his thing. He made his beats. It's like a combination of like the melancholic R&B, like with trap and like these like bass lines that have such like drive to it. And the nickname for that is Wave, which is what we're talking about. Um, but yeah, so there was that, and the Wave Mob is still actually a thing, and I wonder why it's like they're not they're not famous like that yet. Although I know that that style of music has become more popular. Well, sort of. Some notable artists in that genre, right? So there's Misogi. Misogi now he makes more like alternative, rock, R&B, well, indie. I don't know how to describe his style. It's kind of like rock, like emo rock kind of music. But before he would make, and he still kind of incorporates it, but like he would make like wave music, and um, there's him, Nevermore, Nyquil, like I mentioned earlier. There's other artists like Haven, or there's Thrash Lord. There's Fox Wedding. There are a bunch of artists, and if you notice, their names are all like oof, like out there, like. So yeah, finding this was it's crazy. Something that I kind of left that genre scene like for a bit, but going back into it, I was like, yeah, I remember listening to like Children of Gaia by and I remember listening to like so Plastician. He's a DJ from I think the UK, and he did a show like a mix called the Wave Pool, and the Wave Pool was basically a mix of like songs that fit into the category of like wave music, and this was like something that just popped up on SoundCloud, like, and for beat makers and people who probably like are into trap or like ambient music, that was a thing. I think my interest in that came from like somebody that went to my school. He showed me an album XXYYXX. I think that's the one with the triangle, and with the eye and all that, looking like that dude from Gravity Falls. So he showed me this, and from there it was like the ambient scene with like the hip hop, the samples, the vocal chops, all that kind of stuff. That became like getting that ethereal vibe from the music. And yeah, from there, wave, wave. So that's today's genre. Today's genre is wave. What it's such a weird name because it's like, what is wave? Like people say wavy for like to describe songs, but like what even can you even call the music like wave? Like a genre wave? So yeah, that's what we're gonna be doing. And so basically break down the elements of that would include like, well, generally the rhythm is more similar to that of like trap with the maybe like 130 beats per minute. Drums, quick hi-hats, like hi-hat rolls. the kick snare, like all that kind of stuff. That's just one aspect. But like the thing that really makes it distinct, I feel like, is there's a use of like synths that give like a dreamy feel with melancholic melodies, so it's like kind of like the dark vibes. And then there's the bass lines. I feel like the bass lines are like they have like this sense of drive to it. I think it might be what it sounds like to me is like a sub bass, but with like kind of like a saw on it. And a saw is like a type of synth sound. So, yeah, like a sub with a saw on it. Except for like artists like Haven, what he does, I think he uses a bass pad. So basically playing a pad on like a very low octave, so it makes like a bass sound. So yeah, and then after that, like the vocal samples, like um, the singing, the very like it sounds very distant, like you're in the hallway, or like some kind of thing, like in some kind of a dream or something. That and then yeah, generally I feel like those make up like the genre pretty well. For myself, I've had like songs, or if you check my some leftovers beat tape, you'll see there's a beat in there. I think it's called Mist. It's the song where I sampled the guitar from a guy named Gio, and the voice of another friend, Evalise. They're both part of my church and stuff. So sampled their music and like just made like a beat that's kind of like, it's not wave, but like it has those elements of like the R&B, yeah. An example, so influences like Atu, Deepat as well, who aren't necessarily wave artists. Like if you've ever heard of Sonder, the style they have going, it's kind of like those elements can actually be involved with wave music. So yeah, I'm going to try and make my own. So Feon Wave coming at you, boom.